Hello, everybody. Hello, Bristol. This is Jack Sholder, and I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight to see my film, The Hidden. Um, and I'm thrilled that it's playing on this big screen. I made this film to be seen on a big screen, maybe not quite as big as that, but wish I could be there in person to see it. But here I am, back in my house in North Carolina, and I'll just have to imagine what it might look like that big. But I think it ought to be really fun that size, especially. Well, I'll talk about the car chase in a little bit. Um, my first feature was a chance to get to make my first feature, so I really wanted to make an art film. So I made a slasher film, which was masquerading. Which was an art film that it was masquerading as a slasher film. And then I got a chance to make Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And I should say that I'm really not a big fan of horror films, and I really didn't want to get typecast as a horror film director. So I was looking for something that would take me in a different direction. And after about a year of reading lots of not very good scripts, the head of New Line came up to me and said, "Jack, I think I have a script that you'll really like," and handed me the script for The Hidden, which I read, and I thought, wow, this is exactly the kind of film that I want to do. It's kind of, not to give too much away, but it's kind of I think of it as a Sidney Lumet cop movie, because he made the greatest cop movies, and I love those movies, and I always wanted to do a movie like that, but with aliens. And the script was written by Jim Kauf, who wanted to direct it, and New Line decided that they didn't want him to direct it, so he actually took a pseudonym of Bob Hunt, although since then he has started putting his name on the film and claiming it as his own. What I liked about the film was it had a sense of humor, but it also has a lot of social commentary. And and when I thought about it, like, I thought there was a subtext that was really interesting, which is basically what it means to be human. Because you have these aliens who appear to be human, or who take the bodies of humans and are trying to figure out what that is, and what makes a good human, and what makes a bad human. And so I thought that was a pretty interesting subject, and it kind of took me to some interesting places. I thought that there were two scenes in the film that particularly interested me. So one was a car chase. So the film actually opened up with a bank robbery, and the head of New Line, who's a very old friend of mine, Bob Shea, said, "Oh, the bank robberies. Everybody's seen a bank robbery. What do we need a bank robbery for?" And of course, the bank robbery then leads into a car chase. And I thought, well, okay, he's kind of right. We take us a day or two to shoot the bank robbery, and it's not really that important. It just sort of justifies the car chase, which really starts the movie. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting to do kind of like a Joseph Losey did in Accident, where the camera's just moving, and then you hear an off-screen accident happen, and you never really see it. So I thought, well, we could just start with a guy walking out of a bank, busting out of a bank with a bag full of money and a shotgun, and then get into the car chase. When we put the whole film together, it was like an interesting idea, but it didn't quite work. And he said, well, we've really got to put the bank robbery in there, but they didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I said, what if we were to just set up like a surveillance camera in a bank, and just do it all in one shot, as if it's just taken from surveillance footage. And they liked that idea because it was cheap, and it actually worked out pretty well. I think it's a good opening. So as far as the car chase went, so again, Bob said to me, "It's just another car chase. It's just a generic car chase." And I said, "You know what? I'm going to make the best fucking car chase you've ever seen." So I don't know whether I succeeded, but I think it's a pretty good car chase. And what I did was I looked at like all of the good car chase movies that I could think of, and actually the one that I liked the best was The French Connection, because what it did was it really put you in the car. You know, a lot of them like show the cars. Bullet, which everybody thinks is a great one, and for its time it was. But a lot of it is showing the cars, whereas with French Connection, you were in the car. And so I thought that was really the way to do it. And I think it turned out pretty well. The other scene that I thought was challenging, oddly enough, is right in the middle of the film. There's a scene where Michael Nouri invites the Kyle MacLachlan character over to his house for dinner. And it's the one. It's a pretty fast-paced film, and it's got a pretty chock full of action, and you know, I tried to keep everything moving. But here's this one scene where these people, Nouri, his wife, and Kyle, sit down to have a dinner. That was kind of a little slow, and I thought, you know, if it's and it's character scene. I thought, well, if I can make that scene work and keep it interesting, then I think the whole movie will work, because you know, action kind of takes care of itself in a way. So anyway, you can see what you think. Some of you may have already seen this film. Some of you may be seeing it for the first time. So I really hope that you enjoy it, and maybe one of these days I'll get to Bristol and see another movie in the IMAX theater. Anyway, ta-ta, and see you around.